Hey everybody, Gary with Basecamp Trading. Let's take a look at a setup that we had in gold today. You can see in the overnight, it was kind of choppy through the overnight, made a little push down and started to pull back. This bar right here was actually the gold ghost pit open, and you can see it open, then it pulled back, and right here it set up a reversal doji. You can't see it on this chart because our EMAs are in the way, but we had a reversal doji. It triggered to the downside. 5 and 13 were still crossed to the downside under the 21. 50 and 200 crossed to the downside. And this bar actually created bearish momentum. We actually were getting some positive histograms here, but we triggered the reversal doji. And this is what you can see it better on this chart once we got the moving averages off. Again, this was your opening bar. We made the pullback, set up the reversal doji. Again, the reversal doji is a reversal doji if the high of this bar is higher than the previous bar. High of that bar was 66.20. High of that bar was 66.50. Finished in a doji. The next bar triggers it. And you can see triggered it to the downside right here. We were trading it off of the Renko chart, or you had the setup off the Renko chart. Full disclosure, I wasn't actually trading this morning myself personally, but this was the setup. And you can see we were breaking lower, and then this is where that doji setup. It's kind of hard to tell on these bars, but this is a little over an hour worth of trading time right here. And this is where we had the push down, pull back, had the doji, the indecision, the up and down, up and down, up and down. And then right here, we had a wick out of the cloud. All of our moving averages are back in alignment. And this is where that reversal doji was triggering. That reversal doji triggered under 1863.80, and that was that bar right here. Again, you can see the reversal doji actually triggered right here under 1863.80, and then that's where we had our Renko entry right here. Triggered the reversal doji to the downside, and then a nice push down. If you're using Trender Pro 2.0 to manage your trade, you're in just under 1863.80, around 1863.70. No reason to get out. You finally start getting the Trender Pro 2.0 extended signal. So if you got out on the first reversal bar, that initial trade was good down to about 1851-ish or so. So you were in roughly 1863.70 all the way down to 1851. So potential to get at least $1,000 out of this trade, maybe more depending on how you were trading it. But you definitely had the potential to get at least $1,000 out of this trade. We made the pullback, set up the wick off the 34 for another push to the downside. If you took that particular setup, your entry would have been around 1851.40. Exit depends on how you're trading this. Again, you got extended. First reversal bar would have had you out around 1845, so another $500-600 potential there. If you took this wick off the 34, you would have had a couple $100 on this one. Now you're forming bullish divergence, so you have to be real careful. Whether you took any additional trades after that would have been kind of up to you. But again, once you get this bullish divergence, you have to be careful about anything further to the downside. Plus, at that time, you also were significantly undervalued on the 30-minute chart. So again, highly unlikely you're taking any of those additional setups to the downside. Even if you had made money, which you probably would have, it's definitely becomes much higher risk when you get this deep, significantly undervalued, especially this many bars in a row. So while you could have taken a few additional Renko setups, because again, you did have a few, you had a few additional Renko setups, whether you would have taken them or not, hard to say. Again, you were significantly undervalued on 30-minute chart, making bullish divergence on the Renko chart. So probably passing on these trades, even though some of those you may have made money on. But the initial setup was really, really good, and you were able to grab a nice push to the downside in gold this morning.